You know, there are some books you don't just read, you kind of live them. And today, we're diving into one of the big ones, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. It's this incredible story that has literally inspired millions of people to get up and start looking for their own treasure in life. So, just to give you a sense of how huge this book is, check out this number. Over 85 million copies sold worldwide. I mean, think about that for a second. That's not just a bestseller, that's a straight-up global phenomenon. It's one of the best-selling books of all time. Which, of course, leads us to the big question, right? Why? How has the simple story of a shepherd boy managed to change so many lives? Well, I think it's because it taps into something deep inside all of us. That feeling, that desire for purpose, the idea that maybe, just maybe, our lives are meant to be a grand adventure. All right, so let's get into the story. Every big journey starts with a little spark, doesn't it? And for our hero, a young shepherd named Santiago, that spark comes in the form of a dream that keeps coming back, calling him to an adventure that's going to change, well, everything. So, let's meet Santiago. He's a young shepherd out in Andalusia, in Spain. And honestly, his life is pretty good. He's got his freedom, he gets to travel with his flock, he's content. But there's this little itch, this restlessness. It's because he keeps having this same dream over and over about a hidden treasure waiting for him all the way over at the Egyptian pyramids. Now, this isn't just some random dream about getting rich. The book treats it as something way, way deeper. A mysterious old king shows up, and he actually gives it a name. He calls it a personal legend. And what he means is, it's what you've always wanted to accomplish. It's not just a goal, it's your true purpose in life. The thing your soul is just aching to do. And then the king drops what is probably the most famous line from the entire book. He tells Santiago, "When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it." Wow. I mean, what an idea, right? This is the core belief that drives the whole story. It's this promise that if you really, truly commit to your path, the world itself will line up to help you get there. That's what gives Santiago the push he needs. Okay, so Santiago is all in. He makes this huge, life-changing decision. He sells his flock, his entire life's work, and he heads to Africa to start this crazy quest. But it's not going to be easy, not by a long shot. Yeah, his journey is messy. It's not a straight line at all. First, he leaves everything he knows. Then, almost immediately, he gets robbed blind. He ends up having to work for a whole year for a crystal merchant just to get back on his feet. From there, he joins a caravan to cross the massive Sahara Desert, and finally he stumbles into this beautiful oasis. Every single one of these steps is a test, and every single one teaches him something. So you might be wondering, how does he figure out where to go? How does he navigate all this chaos? Well, remember what the old king told him? Follow the omens. And these omens, they aren't just lucky guesses or coincidences. They're presented as the language of the universe, little signs and nudges that are guiding him toward his goal. But here's the thing. This is where the real battle is. It's not just about crossing a desert. It's an internal fight. On one side, you have the omens, pushing him forward. And on the other, you've got fear. Huge, paralyzing fear. The fear of failure, the fear of losing what little he has left, the fear of the unknown. His whole journey is basically learning how to trust those omens more than he listens to his own fear. And who can't relate to that? And thankfully, he's not totally alone in this. He keeps meeting these incredible people who are basically teachers in disguise. You've got the King of Salem, who started it all, the crystal merchant who taught him a tough lesson about giving up on dreams. There's this quirky Englishman who's all about learning from books. He meets Fatima, a woman of the desert who teaches him what true love is. And then there's the alchemist himself. And this is where things really get intense. We're at the climax of the story. Deep in the heart of the desert, Santiago finally meets the legendary, super wise alchemist. This is the guy who's going to guide him through the last and most dangerous leg of his journey, and revealed the biggest secret of all. The alchemist shares so much wisdom, but this quote really gets to the heart of it. He says it is the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. Think about that. He's teaching Santiago that the real magic isn't just about getting the treasure at the end. It's about the chase. It's about the possibility that you could get there. The person you have to become to even try, that's the real transformation. That's the real alchemy. Okay, so after all that, months, maybe years of struggle, Santiago finally makes it. He's at the pyramids. He starts digging right where his dream told him to, and there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And to make matters worse, he gets attacked and robbed right there. Just as he's at his lowest point, one of the robbers starts laughing at him and tells him about a stupid recurring dream he once had. And this robber's dream? It was about a treasure buried back in Spain, under a sycamore tree in the ruins of an old church. And bam! It hits Santiago like a bolt of lightning. The treasure he'd been searching for all this time was right back where he started. And that's the beautiful, brilliant paradox of the whole story, isn't it? He had to go on this epic journey across the world just to find out the treasure was at home the whole time. The gold was real, yeah, he goes back and gets it, but the real treasure? That was everything he learned. The wisdom, the love, the person he became. The journey itself turned him from a simple shepherd into someone who could transform his own life. So why does this story stick with us so much? Because it's not really about Santiago, is it? It's about us. His journey is like a roadmap for our own lives. And the book leaves us with this awesome set of rules, almost like a code for finding our own treasure, whatever that may be. So what's the Alchemist code? It's pretty simple, really. First, listen to your heart. It knows what your personal legend is. Second, embrace the present. The past is gone, the future isn't here yet, so live right now. Third, see every challenge as a lesson. Every screw-up, every setback, it's just the universe teaching you something. Fourth, choose courage over fear. Fear will always be there, just don't let it drive the car. And finally, and maybe most importantly, understand that the journey is what transforms you. It's not about the destination, it's about who you become on the way. And that's really what the book leaves us with. It's this one last, powerful question aimed right at you. Because deep down, you know what your personal legend is. So the only real question left is, are you ready to begin? Are you brave enough to follow your omens and start the journey?